I'm Dave Klein, and this is a Cymulate Cybersecurity Newscast. After discovering abnormal traffic from one of the customers of the company Sophos, the cybersecurity firm Velexity found a new threat actor targeting Asian enterprises and governments, which very much looks like a Chinese APT that they call drifting cloud. What they did is take advantage of a zero-day found in Sophos Firewall that was given a CVSS score of 9.8. It was an authentication bypass vulnerability that allowed them to do a number of things: to deploy a web backdoor and a secondary form of persistence, then added a VPN account and manipulated DNS so that anything going through it, they could do a man-in-the-middle attack. Really quite fascinating. And in using the administrative credentials they gleaned from doing this, they were able to attack the enterprises that they saw, as well as accounts outside the enterprises. There's a great Velexity blog on this. I'll put it in the notes section of the video. There's some real good takeaways here. We always talk about your security devices need to be updated just as much as you do your endpoints and your servers. This is a critical place and story about this as well. You need to have auto update turned on your Sophos devices, which they have, thank God, so that you can keep these up to date, because they were able to come up with a patch pretty quickly. And on top of that, there was best practices around remote management. If you had enabled VPN access and disallowed the ability to reach the user interfaces from the WAN, you would not be affected as well. So again, some basic hygiene here you could do, as well as turning on auto update to protect yourself. A very important news story here. Most of us use Atlassian Confluence. It's a great collaboration package. There is a vulnerability out there that's being exploited by multiple actors, and it's quite serious. It's a CVSS score of 9.8. It allows an unauthenticated user to do an RCE attack remotely, and it goes into memory, not local storage, so it's very hard to detect. This was found by a number of different companies simultaneously, including Microsoft. And it's being used by multiple actors to take advantage of these deployments. Real important takeaways here are that if you're not using the cloud managed version of Atlassian Confluence, you are susceptible. You need to patch as soon as you can, but the patch requires production down. So you can't do a rolling production type of thing with this. And there are workarounds you can use to hold yourself off. Very important. I'll put a link to the Atlassian Confluence advisory in the notes section of the video. We have two great Cymulate Cybersecurity broadcasts coming this week. One that just occurred at 11 a.m. Singapore time that you could see the recording of, which was awesome. It was myself and Magda, Chelly, cybersecurity expert and good friend of mine, discussing anxiety-free vulnerability management. We get into all sorts of things about how to better discover, test, prioritize, and finding first and third-party mitigating controls to protect against vulnerabilities, which are huge, as we see in this newscast here. So again, I'll put a link to that in the notes section of the video. The second Cymulate Cybersecurity broadcast this week is just coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch it live or see the recording. It stars a very good friend of mine and probably one of the best email security experts in the world, George Nazare. This is going to be fun and very interesting and come with some great takeaways on how to best shore up your email external attack surfaces, what best practices are for server-side hardening, upkeep, cloud migration, email security gateway optimization, all sorts of things that deal with email as an attack vector. Again, please attend. You're going to love it. I'll put a link in the notes section of the video so you can see it live or watch a recording. That's it for me this week. I'm Dave Klein. This has been the Cymulate Cybersecurity Newscast. Have a great week, everyone.